North Dakota dairy producers see a direct impact as a result of the trade tariffs put in place by the Trump administration. I caught up with both candidates after the debate, asking them how they felt the evening went. They both said that this was a win for North Dakota voters because it gave you at home a chance to see the clear differences between the candidates. The polls have closed and the results are in. I spoke with Republicans about what your support meant and the message they had for those that didn't vote for them. I spoke with the National Corn Growers Association, who said that number should be closer to 44 cents a bushel. Voters will decide if marijuana becomes legal. However, the legislature will be the ones making changes and passing laws to regulate its use. What could an increase in speed limit mean for your car in the long run? Hey, Facebook KX News reporter Malique Rankin coming at you live from the Capitol. One of the bills that we're following is one that proposes a speed limit change on our interstates, upping it from 75 miles an hour. Air Force One touched down here in Fargo just 15 minutes ago, and President Donald Trump was greeted by nearly 250 people. These two school buses are acting as a plane, and the people on the floor are victims after an explosion, and it's all a part of a full-scale drill. The Department of Health also suggests putting an important item like your cell phone or purse in the back seat to remind you to look before you lock. I tried to find out how many AR-15 style rifles were sold in North Dakota last year, but as the state's Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives told me, there's no way to know besides calling the more than 500 gun shops in the state. And that wouldn't even account for private sales. So I started with one gun shop in hopes of learning why so many love AR-15s.
I've got a couple of them set up that I use myself and my sweetheart.
Troy Howard is the co-owner of Double H Gun Shop in Bismarck. He says at least one AR-15 is purchased through his store each week.
It's just an all-around universal type of firearm that most anybody can shoot.
Howard says along with the ease of use, it also won't weigh you down.
And again, they're lightweight, so if you're walking in a mile to make a coyote stand or something, they're easy to carry, lightweight.
Many misconceptions come with the AR-15. The rifle is semi-automatic, the AR standing for Armalite rifle, not assault rifle.
They're semi-automatic. They're only limited to as fast as you can pull the trigger.
Howard says most people aren't licensed to own a fully automatic assault rifle. His store doesn't even sell them. But if you come to Double H Gun Shop looking to buy an AR or any gun, you have to pass a federal background check.
There's a 4473 form that every person has to fill out, whether it's an AR platform rifle, whether it's a shotgun, whether it's a handgun. It's the same form. We make a copy of your ID. You fill out the form, and then I go in the back room and run through and do the background check through our FBI NICS program.
While this gun has continually grown in popularity for sportsmen, it's also become a staple of most police patrol cars.
In 2012 is when the department fully adopted the use of an AR-15. Prior to that, we used M14s.
Lieutenant Steve Scheuer oversees weapons training at the Bismarck Police Department. I asked the lieutenant how these guns have changed responding to crime.
Having a rifle provides us with safety, because with a rifle you can be further away. You can address a situation that involves potential use of deadly force from a safer vantage point.
First, Lieutenant Scheuer showed me how easy this gun is to use and why it's the weapon of choice for our men in blue.
I love this gun. I mean, I've carried a M16 AR-15 variant. I was in the military. It's just an awesome tool for us in law enforcement to be able to have available to us.
Then it was my turn. After some detailed instruction on how the gun works, I gave it a try. While I was expecting a massive recoil, I was really surprised at how well it handled, and my accuracy wasn't bad. I can see why so many people are attracted to this gun.
As far as a tool goes, it's far superior to a handgun or a shotgun. And I mean, that makes it safer for us. It makes it safer for the public.
As AR-15 sales continue to climb, so do body counts, which is why Lieutenant Scheuer says the rifle has helped level the field between police officers and criminals. While the gun control debate continues, gun control advocates and gun enthusiasts will both agree that one mass shooting used by an AR-15 is one too many, and something has to be done to keep these tragic events from happening. Reporting for KX News, I'm Malique Rankin. There were a couple consistencies throughout Governor Doug Burgum's address today. Lots of teary moments, mentions of his budget address, and the growth the state has seen in recent years. With the good, the governor also took the time to highlight where the state needs to improve.
Our economy continues to grow, but workforce remains the #1 gating factor for economic growth. Now is the time for all of us to work together to redouble our efforts to equip our workforce with the skills needed to prosper.
In a packed House chamber, Governor Doug Burgum said that to overcome the workforce shortage, $30 million needs to be dedicated to the Legacy Fund. He also said it needs to be made easier for people from other states to transfer their skills here.
Today, the state of the state is that we stand at the cusp of a new era in North Dakota's history. And by harnessing the courage to dare greatly, we will cultivate a prosperous future for generations to come. With action, we will shine.
Burgum highlighted the state's population growth, the work his wife has done with behavioral health and recovery, his Main Street initiatives, and much more. Democrats were energized with the start of a new session, but not as enthused with some of the changes the governor wants to see implemented. Aspects like K-12 funding, assisted living facilities, and employee raises have created a partisan divide. Representative Carla Hansen spoke on behalf of her party, saying the state needs to fund basic necessity services.
Cutting services is not reinventing government.
Differences aside, Representative Hansen said Democrats are looking forward to the start of a new session, working alongside the governor and their Republican colleagues. Now it's time for our lawmakers to get to work. There's already dozens of committee meetings scheduled for tomorrow at the Capitol. About 88% of 18 to 29-year-olds use some kind of social media, guilty as charged. Study after study are showing the same thing. There is a casual link between online networking and depression. When you're using social media, how do you feel?
It depends. Like sometimes I see things and I'm like, oh, that's really cool, you know, like I wish I could be on vacation or just different things like that.
Like I want what I don't have. I kind of use that to like, I don't know, maybe not like fuel me, but it's nice to like just see and like imagine myself doing certain things even though like I can't.
Jessica Clement is a licensed professional counselor with CHI. She explains the pressure users feel before posting.
Seems like there's maybe more pressure now with social media to present a certain image, to appear perfect.
Making young adults take a second look before they post.
I guess certain things, it's like, are people gonna like it, I guess.
Like triple check and make sure everything's like spelled correctly and just the way I want it, because I want it to be perfect and not have anyone like ridicule me, I guess, for posting something.
With an endless amount of filters, it can be easy to be a different and even better person online. Clement says when we begin comparing, feelings of self-doubt and depression can creep up.
And then there's always that comparison factor as well. If you're on social media and you're comparing yourselves to others, in particular negatively comparing yourself to others, I think that can be risky also.
Social media is definitely more of like a highlight reel. I mean, it's not really realistic. Social media is not real life, and I think it's so easy to Photoshop and make yourself look different.
I've come to realize that, and I actually deleted my Facebook kind of because of that, because I just kind of got sick of seeing everyone like posting about their life, and I realized that I really didn't care that much, and then I would just be comparing myself to them.
A University of Pennsylvania study shows the main factor for social media depression is comparing your life to others. The second is FOMO, or fear of missing out. If you feel you're facing depression from using social media, the solution is simple: cut back your time online. This is all that's left of Josh and Kayla Cotton's home. Thursday's storm ripped their house apart. They woke up to find their roof gone. It was these parents' worst nightmare, finding and rescuing their two young children. Their 11-month-old son was buried under insulation and sheetrock.
So then I reached ahead further and I ended up throwing some sheetrock off. And then I reached down and grabbed his ankles, and then he came freely and started crying.
Shortly after, they head to the basement to seek shelter.
I went back and I tried kicking the door in and I tried shouldering it. And then I grabbed a chair and just tried beating it down.
After no luck, what Josh did next may have saved his family's lives.
So I thought, well, a gun, I'll shoot the door down. It was enough to relieve the pressure, and then it swung open easy.
This is what's left of Josh and Kayla's bedroom. They woke up to their roof being blown off of their house. This was the worst part of the storm as a result of a microburst tearing through their home with winds of about 130 miles per hour. The Mercer Oliver emergency manager says it's weather like this that should always be taken seriously.
But this was as bad as a tornado. I believe the Weather Service says it was a Cat 2 tornado winds. So when you hear these winds and 80 miles an hour, people need to take shelter. You need to go to your basement. Don't just assume.
As for the Cottons, they're just thankful they survived unharmed.
I don't really care about the material things, you know. I'm so happy because it's amazing how we didn't get, you know, stabbed with something or something slashed, you know. Kayla got hit, but she's got just a little scratch from it.
While much of the Cottons farm was destroyed, they're lucky enough to lean on close family living with Kayla's parents until they can rebuild. Reporting for KX News, I'm Malique Rankin.